as his being, his consciousness is rising towards the Supreme Satchitananda. That is the state which is being described. Beyond the world of name and shape and form, beyond manifestation, his being now exceeded thinkable space. He has gone beyond mind, beyond manifestation, beyond creation. His boundless thought was neighbor to cosmic sight. A universal light was in his eyes. A golden influx flowed through heart and brain. A force came down into his mortal limbs. That therefore in his mind, in his life, in his heart, in his body, that power of the Supreme Consciousness is descending. He has become empty of himself. The little self is no longer there. He has widened himself into the universal and now into the transcendent. He is rising higher and higher. That transcendent state of the Supreme. A universal light was in his eyes. He is not any longer a person. He has become part of the entire universe. A golden influx flowed through heart and brain. A force came down into his mortal limbs, a current from eternal seas of bliss. Into the mortal, the eternal comes down. Into that which is limited, the infinite comes down. Bliss, the ananda of the Satchitananda. Satchitananda, that is a consciousness, existence, consciousness force. By itself cannot be. It has to be manifested through the supreme delight of creation. The supreme ananda is flowing through him. So, this is the experience where the spirit becomes part of the supreme yoga of the spirit's greatness. Freedom from smallness, freedom from ignorance, freedom from separateness. He felt the invasion and the nameless joy. He is completely taken over by this ocean of ananda, of consciousness force. The whole individual is leaving the earth field. He is no longer part of the world. It is rising beyond. This is the stage of the supreme Vedantic realization when you become one with the Absolute, one with the highest. Aware of his occult, omnipotent source, allured by the omniscient ecstasy, a living center of the illimitable, widened to equate with the world's circumference. So this is the change. The individual person will not disappear, but the individual is not trapped in his individuality. A living center of the illimitable. Each being, each particle, each atom is as if a concentration of the infinite. And that is the supreme experience, where the sense of I am a separate person, I live in a separate nature, my personality, even if I have devoted myself, offered my being to the divine, that is still a state where one is part of an individual existence. Here, you become the center of the infinite. It's not logical. He's gone beyond mind. Each point is infinite. Therefore, this being, a living center of the illimitable, widened to equate with the world's circumference. The universal manifestation, his consciousness is one with the entire manifestation. He turned to his immense spiritual fate. That is the spirit's freedom. He has become one with the universe, one with the transcendent, left he's no longer part of this lower creation. He has gone into what Sri Aurobindo elsewhere describes as the upper hemisphere. Manifestation is divided into, you might say, two hemispheres. The lower hemisphere has its roots in ignorance. The upper hemisphere has its roots in light. So he is no longer part of the world of ignorance. And because he is no longer part of the world of ignorance, there is no darkness. There is no limitation. Darkness, error, all these division, all these are expressions of a separateness. I am separate from the divine. Because I am separate from him, even if I worship him, I am separate from him, I am still cut off. But I am not there. Only he is, only that is, not even he, that absolute. This is the immense spiritual fate, the supreme liberation. Abandoned on a canvas of torn air, a picture lost in far and fading streaks, the earth nature's summits sank below his feet. This is the image. Earth nature is like a copy, a painting. A canvas is the field of expression for the painter, isn't it? Now, as if the painter creates a form or a picture, but the origin is not the painting. The origin is the consciousness from which the painting is projected. So the earth nature is a projection of that supreme creator. The earth nature has just become abandoned. He has left the world of manifestation. It is one projection of the infinite. The finite is a projection of the infinite. So he has moved up and that's why he calls it a picture. It's just a shape, a form.
Like torn air? Torn air, canvas of torn?
Because it's pieces. So the picture is it's cutting into the backdrop is air. Air is a field of consciousness. Air and you might say water, these are fields of conscious manifestation. In the air is projected the universe. Now, if something is floating in the air, from places where it is floating, the air is cut. It's not, the picture is floating in the air. So, it is a picture that is also torn, strips the whole sense of reality, the whole universal reality is not there. The world is just a copy of the original consciousness. So, like a picture is not reality. Reality is what is in the consciousness of the painter. If you call that picture a projection of the consciousness of the artist is the supreme. He has projected himself in creation. Creation goes away. Creation disappears. What is created comes and goes. The origin is untouched. The origin is never disturbed. The origin is the supreme. So that is why we have so many creations. The universe is made, then is unmade. Life comes, life goes. The whole world is made and then there is pralaya, everything is destroyed. It does not affect the original consciousness. We are trapped in the play of rising and falling. So when things rise, we are happy. When they fall, we are disturbed. But he is above it. It doesn't affect him. There is no rising, there is no falling in that world, which is not a world even. It is the infinite. So the world of change is just a partial manifestation of that eternal consciousness. So they are all torn bits, he's giving you the image. This picture is abandoned. What is the picture? The earth nature. This earthly nature, this is an image describing the earth nature. He has gone beyond the earthly nature. The earth nature sank. Its summits sank. So the highest experience of the earthly existence, even that is far below his feet. He has gone far above manifestation. So everything is below him. It's like someone who has touched the highest state in the supreme, you might say, consciousness. So wherever there is a manifestation, it is still below. There is no manifestation here. What is there is silence. You have the formula given in the ancient scriptures, no? The Brihat. The supreme is Satyam, Ritam, Brihat. The truth, the right, the vast. That vastness is what he has entered. Where is the beginning of that? Where is the end of that? Where is the world of forms? They come and go. What is that simple extension, complete extension of the Supreme Consciousness. Where does the sky begin? Where does it end? There is no beginning, there is no outline. In us, there is always the need to have a beginning and an end, because we are limited. And so we feel comfortable in limits. So you say, this is the beginning, this is the next stage, then this is the third stage, this is the fourth stage. And we are accustomed to being caught in manner of thinking, a manner of living, a manner of being. Here all that is gone. There is no separateness, there is only that. This is the Rishi's highest spiritual fate, to become one with the Supreme Transcendent. He climbed to meet the infinite more above. Where does the infinite begin? You reach the highest and there is still more. And then you reach that state and there is still more. They speak of all the different worlds. The Turiya Jagat, they speak of. This world, there's another world above that. Above that there is another world. World of what? Of light, of consciousness, of existence. Satchidananda. It is from there that projection, a concentration of manifestation starts, that is the supramental. Supermind is not, beyond that is the Satchidananda. In the Satchidananda there is no name, no shape, no form, no expression, no manifestation. There is only that state of consciousness. So he is going up. He climbed to meet the infinite far more above. The immobile's ocean silence saw him pass. It's climbing the levels of consciousness, as I sometimes describe, water as well as air. These are the fields of consciousness, this is the field of manifestation. When there is an existence, it has to be in a world of air. Air connects sky with man, earth. This world of earth is connected to the highest, to different planes of air. So air is a field of consciousness. He's climbing higher and higher. An arrow leaping through eternity suddenly shot from the tense bow of time, a ray returning to its parent sun. Such a beautiful image. The ray is a projection of the sun, the supreme sun. The sun is a symbol of the supreme, the highest consciousness. From the sun are projected rays, lights, lines of light. They touch the earth, and whoever is touched by that is to some extent illumined. Now this is how we are, a part of this projection of light. We live in a world of ignorance, and that light touches us. And this is the freedom from ignorance. He's climbing up back to the origin. He's not coming down, he's going up. But it's the opposite. From the world of time, he's moving into the world of eternity. Whatever exists in our knowledge exists only in time. We don't have any awareness of what is eternity. If I want to know what is eternal, I have to identify my consciousness with the eternal. The eternal may exist in me, but I don't know him. I exist only in time, here and now, time and space. This is my field of knowledge and experience. He is coming out of this field. These are all relativities, coming back, going back to the origin. So he is like an arrow, not shooting downwards to the earth, but shooting upwards back into the sun. This is the continuous strength of aspiration, of tapasya, that is the flame that Mother describes often, that climbs without wavering, without vacillating. An arrow leaping through eternity. How long is the human change will it take? There is no need to measure in time. 1 century, millions of years, it's the same thing, it's very relative. Eons have passed, the play of rising and falling. We go back to the origin, then we come down into this world of change and manifestation. We cut off our connection with the origin. We lose our sense of being part of the divine. We are identified with our littleness, with our smallness. We live our daily life. And at some stage of our evolution, when we feel that we are prisoners of darkness, prisoners of inconscience, that's when the sense of liberation comes. I don't want to live in this world of darkness and of inconscience. So he's freeing, he's going back to the world of that origin, the supreme light. From the world of time to the world of eternity. But the power of ignorance, the foundation of inconscience is strong, is very strong. The whole play of manifestation is based on inconscience, on inertia, on the original sense of resistance. This is what he is breaking out of. And so this power hits back. The sense of the snake that does not want to allow the spirit to climb up. It's the spirit that is going up. The tension is there. The tapasya is that freedom from darkness towards light. We moved straight from darkness to light. The power of darkness, the power of ignorance, which has ruled the creation for so long, is still ruling. It does not want the spirit to escape. Opponent of that glory of escape, the black inconscient swung its dragon tail. The dragon or the snake, power of concentrated energy, very strong, very immobile, very, you might say, at a certain resistant to change. But in that supreme inconscience lies supreme power. It is the foundation of all things. Out of this original inconscience. In the Indian context, we usually give the image of the snake. In the Far Eastern context, say Chinese or Japanese or Tibetan culture, they use the image of the dragon. But either way, this image is that of a strong power of resistance, but of very great energy. This energy has to be nothing but the spirit. Energy is spirit, in which is actually trapped, locked. If it can, what does it contain? Out of this energy, all growth starts. Out of the inconscient, all evolution begins. Therefore, this is the whole secret, that the supreme inconscient is the starting point of the journey of consciousness. All growth, all light breaks out of darkness from below upwards. It goes slowly, like the original world of matter came out of the world of the formless, and then you had the world of matter. The world of life comes out of the world of matter. Life comes out, energy. Mind comes out of life. So mind and life and matter were there in that energy. But here it is different. Here, through the power of tapasya, it is like an arrow shot straight. It does not pass through all the cycles and you might say spirals of evolution, going up and down. Because this is what man can do. He can progress, he can change, but he always falls back. He falls back because the pull of the downward consciousness is very strong. So we fall back, we forget, we die, we allow ourselves to be darkened, and then at some point we rise again, we aspire, and the same circuit is repeated over and over again. Here he has broken that circuit. He goes straight up, completely disconnecting himself with the lower nature. So the power of the lower creation seems to have been completely pushed out. It hits back. That is why it's an opponent to that glory of escape. The black inconscient swung its dragon tail, lashing a slumberous infinite by its force. The slumberous infinite is the sleeping inconscient. Because there are two infinities, infinite light, infinite darkness. Below us is the infinite darkness. In that infinite darkness is immobileness, that immobility. It is absolutely immobile. It is filled with the power of inertia, concentrated inertia. It is out of this that all energy and movement will grow. So it is very powerful if it is shaken out. We have suggestions, like that reference to, say, Kumbhakarna in the Ramayana. He sleeps. He has stayed immobile. And that is why when he wakes up, he has the strength of concentrated stillness which has gathered in him. And so, in the field of action, he can become almost almighty. That is there. The inconscient is almighty also. The inconscient is nothing but actually a projection of the superconscient. The black inconscient swung its dragon tail, lashing a slumberous infinite by its force. So the beginning of change into the deep obscurities of form. Out of nothingness, the beginning of the world of form. If there is the form, the possibility of error is also there. If there is life, the possibility of death is there. If there is manifestation, the possibility of imperfection is there. He has gone away from all these things. He has left all this behind. Therefore, death lay beneath him like a gate of sleep. Beyond manifestation, beyond time, beyond space, right into the eternal, into the infinite. This is a very beautiful image that follows. One pointed to the immaculate delight. Immaculate is absolutely pure, free of darkness, free of stain. To have that kind of aspiration, that kind of tapasya, one pointed to the immaculate delight, questing for God as for a splendid prey. He mounted, burning like a cone of fire. questing for God, hunting for the Supreme, one-pointedness. This is the most powerful concentration of energy that the human being has to acquire if he wants to achieve. To be one-pointed. We are always trapped in many pointedness. Now this, now that, this is what attracts me, this is what I like, this is what I think about now and then, this is what I forget. You can never achieve any change. Any change, total change, has to be one-pointed. One-pointed for what here? The supreme Ananda, the supreme manifestation of Satchitananda. Questing for God, hunting God. As for a splendid prey, he is the God hides. The human aspirant wants to really win that divine realization. He mounted burning like a cone of fire. To a few is given that God-like rare release, because very few can arrive at that complete giving up of everything else except that one aspiration. All other thoughts, all other feelings, all other activities, the whole nature has turned towards that one goal. Only that, nothing but that. Only very few can do that. What do we do? What does the average, even the higher human being, what does he do? One among many thousands, never touched. The average human being is never touched by this aspiration. Engrossed in the external world's design. We are all caught up in all the play of the outside forms, activities, designs, plans, all the things they take up so much of our time, so much of our attention. One who is not attracted to anything else except that, only that, nothing but that. Only that kind of concentration can take us to the origin. This is this true tapasya. It's like a flame that burns straight up. Image that Mother has repeatedly described. It goes straight up. Engrossed in the external world's design is chosen by a secret witness eye. Who can do it? The infinite selects that individual who is at that right stage of evolution. At one point, as Sri Aurobindo says, one who chooses the infinite has been chosen by the infinite. He has been chosen because he is at that stage of his development. That is why we can choose to take up this life. Not this life as we call it, this life of the supreme tapasya, the supreme liberation from ignorance and freedom from the lower creation. He who can take up that and choose that is one who is ready for that. He will choose because he has been chosen. It's a two-way thing. From beyond, the Supreme has recognized that a certain stage of human development, this particular being has arrived at a conscious choice of light. We have to make a conscious choice of light, of truth, of consciousness, of force, of Ananda. Nothing but that. Because he has been chosen. There is always this. So this being is chosen by a secret witness eye and driven by a pointing hand of light across his soul's unmapped immensitudes. Because the soul, the individual, slowly, the individual divine becomes one with the universe. He becomes one with the transcendent. Otherwise, each of us is an individual, you might say, one aspect, one expression of the divine, the Jivatman. There is the divine in all of us. But it's a sense of, gives us a sense of our true individuality. But to be one with that absolute highest transcendental consciousness is that which is reserved for the one who has passed through all the other stages and is ready to become a manifestation of that highest consciousness. Therefore, it is not a choice that can easily be made. That is why his mother also says, it is not a number we want, it is a selection. So one who is ready, one who is capable of not having anything but that one need, one call, one aspiration. Otherwise, in the meantime, what we can do is aspire, love, to have aspiration, surrender, devotion. That's the best we can do. So, he is chosen by a secret witness eye and driven by a pointing hand of light across his soul's unmapped immensitudes. There is a guidance, the continuous guidance, the divine guide is always there. It's not that we are left to ourselves. How do I know what my path is if I have to move through the oceans? The ocean doesn't have any roads, any signboards, but the hand is there. The guidance is there, the hand of light. So the insistence, even in our daily life, if I really would like to take up this, the first condition, as Mother says, is sincerity. One must want this more than anything else. One must want it so sincerely that nothing else matters, that only matters. That's the starting point. A pilgrim of the everlasting truth. This is the seeker. The pilgrim is going towards his goal. The goal is the truth consciousness, the supermind. A pilgrim of the everlasting truth. Our measures cannot hold his measureless mind. This is an absolute description of Sri Aurobindo himself. We try to understand, we give talks on Sri Aurobindo. How can we talk about him? Who are we? We talk in our language, we talk through our understanding, we talk through our interpretation. Can we really interpret, explain, describe something that is beyond time, beyond space, beyond manifestation? It's an impertinence almost, but this is what we do. We cannot. Our measures cannot hold his measureless mind. There is no beginning, there is no end. How can I describe the infinite? You cannot describe the infinite, you have to become that. You cannot describe the divine, you have to become the divine. Knowledge is only through identity. Knowledge is not through any kind of examination or study or even intimacy. The only thing is that you have to become what you know. Only then you know, but you don't have to talk about it then. He has turned from the voices of the narrow realm. That is what he has done. The narrow realm of mind. He has moved away from the world of thought, of understanding, which always divides things into black and white, into right and wrong, into true and false, and left the little lane of human time. The vastness of his spirit describes time as a small road. For us, time is endless. For him, time is a small field, or a road, a path. Because time is what binds us. Time, this is past, this is present, this is future. This is the path I am following. But if I am one with the infinite, there is no path. It is timeless. So he is moving into another field of experience. In the hushed precincts of a vaster plan, another world, precincts, the walls of another world, you might say. The universe is like a house of the spirit. It's the house of the spirit. So he's gone to another floor of that house, level to level. In the hushed precincts of a vaster plan, he treads the vestibules of the unseen. The vestibule is, you might say the waiting room, the outside. When you enter a room, you have to ask to wait in the vestibule. It's a small room. So it's just entering into a new range of experiences. He's using a word. He's entering into a new field of experience, a new mode of manifestation of the unmanifest. The world of that which is not a world as we know it. It's another world. So that the sense of the universe is not just one world. It's world upon world, world upon world. Each world has its own field. And in the infinite is infinite possibilities. The infinite has infinite possibilities of manifestation. Why should it be finite? Time has only finite possibilities. Something is like this. He has gone beyond that, into a vaster world where he waits to enter into a new state of experience, or listening, following a bodiless guide. So the voice of a voiceless guide. The guide is within. The guide speaks because the guide is truly the one who you have become. You have become that presence. That will take us. From within the help comes. To a lonely cry in boundless vacancy. He listens to a cry when all is empty. There is nothing. There is a voice. There is a call. There is a hand. That is the power of the divine, who is nameless, shapeless, transcendent, is also an individual. An individual. He becomes a voice, he becomes a hand, he gives you a call. But otherwise you say he is the divine. He has no name, he has no shape, he is that Brahman. The Brahman is also there. He is there at every step. So why should we say if he is above, he cannot be below? He is above, yes, he is everything, yes. He is sky and air, and yet he is in every particle of creation. Every atom he is there. He is listening to that guide. These are the experiences Mother has talked about towards the end of her personal quest of change, where she was trying to change in the body the manifestation of the supermind, removing the power of the inconscient. In every particle there is inconscient, but behind that inconscient is the superconscient. It is everywhere. He treads the vestibules of the unseen, or listens, following a bodiless guide, to a lonely cry in boundless vacancy. Only one voice, only one guidance, no division, no sense of try this, if not try that. Nothing, only one. All the deep cosmic murmur, falling still. Murmur, all vibrations, sounds. Nothing remains, only that. That is really the nature of the one who is totally, who has given himself totally to the light. Nothing counts, nobody counts, no other experience counts. His soul left naked to the timeless one. He lives in the hush before the world was born. His soul left naked to the timeless one. He lives in the hush before the world was born, before manifestation. He's become one with the origin. You go back to the origin. Out of the origin, the world is created. I go back to that origin if I'm this kind of yogi. I'm part of that. For me, that is when the rishi will say, all this is illusion. This play of change and time and manifestation, all this comes and goes. This is Maya. Only that is real. Only that is permanent. Nothing but that. Far from compulsion of created things. Strange word, compulsion here. Because each being, each form in creation has its own law. And each part of that law has its demands. So matter has its law. Life has its law of energy, of diversity. Mind has its law, search for light. In all creation, there are certain laws. He has moved out of that world. Thought and its shadowy idols disappear. Idols, which make images of what we may call gods, the gods of thought. What are the gods of thought? Truth, light, beauty, peace. All are ideals. All the ideals that we live for, love, knowledge, all these things, they exist in our head. They cannot be realized unless we become them. Thought cannot give me experience. Thought can give me formulas. I have formulas in my head. This is what one is. This is a perfect form. How can I know what is a perfect form? I don't even know what is perfection. If I am that, then I can become. So they are all shadowy idols, images, but they don't have solid form. Like a shadow doesn't have solid substance. There is a form. This form is changeable, like shadows change also. But we need to have a form at a certain stage. The mind has to make a form, a formation, a formula, call it what you like, but they will change, like shadows on earth change. They become longer, they become shorter, they become rounder. All our ideals change. At a certain stage, they say, this is right, this is true. Later in my life, you say, no, this is no longer necessary for me, this is no longer right for me. That is right, something else is. So all this world of change, which we keep on creating in our head, thought and its shadowy idols disappear. The molds of form and person are undone. Form, body, life is only a mold. Matter is a mold in which spirit inhabits. Now when the mold breaks, the spirit goes where? Everywhere. It becomes infinite. It comes out of the finite. The spirit breaks out of the mold and becomes itself. Itself is infinite, eternal. So we are small molds. We live in our sense of separateness. The molds of form and person are undone. The ineffable wideness knows him for its own. This is what he becomes. That indescribable vast, that brihat, knows him for its own. It is that. This is the liberation of the individual who has become one with the highest, who has become one with the vastest, the complete manifestation of the unmanifest, if you like. Manifestation, that is, he exists in a body, but his consciousness is one with the all. He is not a separate being anymore, he is one with the all, or beyond the all. This is the goal at a certain stage that he puts before us, that Sri Aurobindo puts before us. A lone forerunner of the Godward earth. So this is the leader. Earth is moving towards divinity. Some are ahead in that movement. He is alone as a forerunner. A lone forerunner of the Godward earth. among the symbols of yet unshaped things, watched by closed eyes, mute faces of the unborn, he journeys to meet the incommunicable, hearing the echo of his single steps in the eternal courts of solitude. So it's a play of constant play of opposites. The symbols of yet unshaped things, unmanifest. Each symbol is a projection of one truth, one reality. All is a symbol of the divine. Everything is a symbol. Of the future, the unshaped. Shapes take time to manifest themselves. But the realities exist before they have taken form. He is moving into the world of the future light, which is the world of truth, which is the world of perfection. So he is the one who in this world of earth will manifest the spirit. This is the yoga, the first stage. This is not the final stage. The first stage is book 1. After that there is much more. Watched by closed eyes, mute faces of the unborn. The unborn are not yet manifested, as the word itself says. Not yet born. The unborn are eternal. The ajata. They who have never, they don't need to be born, they are always there. But when they take shape, there is a time for each thing to manifest itself. When the time for them to come into being arrives, then these symbols become realities. Otherwise they are always there, the truths are always there. So the gods are the unborn, the truths are the unborn. They are permanent and they are not manifested. As yet they are not manifested, but they are already there. The future is not yet manifested, but the future has always been there. It is because it is there that we move towards it. He journeys to meet the incommunicable. Without knowing, this is what the human aspirant does. The earth is going towards that which cannot be described, that eternal, that perfect being who cannot be defined, who is the incommunicable. Hearing the echo of his single steps, because this is the person who is the lone forerunner in the eternal courts of solitude. Because you have to give up everything else. There is no attachment, no bondage, no definition, no nothing. There is only that. A nameless marvel fills the motionless hours. This is the ultimate glory. His spirit mingles with eternity's heart and bears the silence of the infinite. He becomes one with the eternal, one with the infinite. This, he comes out of his finiteness. The human breaks out of his humanity. He is no longer a human being. He is no longer defined by his limits. He is one with the Absolute.
And this is the first step. And this is the first step.
This is first step in the sense that it is first stage of the yoga of bringing this down into this world of manifestation. The opposition from this world and that world, we have usually created it because it is so difficult. So you say, this is this earthly life, that is that life. This earthly life will have to someday become that. Yes?
You said, he who chooses the infinite has been chosen by him.
Yes.
Does it mean, suppose infinite has chosen us? If infinite has chosen us, the path to divinity becomes simpler?
The path becomes?
To become divine becomes simpler?
No, even harder.
Because infinite has chosen.
Yes, so the infinite possibilities offer error also. You have been chosen. That doesn't mean you can do it. That doesn't mean you do it immediately. Because you are still part of the lower existence. So you keep on saying, I have chosen the infinite. Really, have you? Or have you chosen that which is... No, this thing is very difficult. It is not easy to say, I have chosen the infinite. I have taken up this earthly life. And from there I want to move towards a more spiritual life. That's one thing. I want to enter into the spiritual life. I want to be a devotee. I want to become a disciple. That's one thing. I want to become an embodiment of transformation. That transformation means removal of all the things that hamper. And each stage of each particle in our being has obstructions. They have to be removed at every minute. At every minute, the possibility of darkness, of manifestation of error is there. If you don't take up that life, you say, yes, but I'm devoted. Mother says, that is simple. I'm a disciple, I'm a devotee, I offer.
It's a struggle.
But if you have chosen, it is active. And at every step of your road, that this difficulty comes and says, why is this happening to me? What is this? And there is no I. If the divine is making me pass through whatever he decides, I just let him, because I am growing through each experience. Am I slowly growing into infinity? Because I am the infinite, but I don't know it. Slowly do I learn, break out of my boundaries. That is very slow. It doesn't become simple, it becomes harder. When you shut your eyes to a problem, you don't see the problem. When your eyes are open, you see all the problems.
Julie, I can also ask a question.
Yes?
So he writes, to a few
Yes.
is given that godlike rare release.
Yes.
One among many thousands never touched.
Yes.
So how does that choice come? How can who chooses?
How can? I can't.
Who chooses?
Who chooses who will be among the thousands?
How can I make myself be one
Part
of them? Right?
Yes.
You want to be part of them, you have to get ready to be absolutely pure, free of ego, free of demands, really want, it's nice to believe I'm chosen by the divine.
Because here
It's
he
nice to
tells-
believe that, but we are not really touched. To be touched by him demands a complete reversal of our nature. And we are attached to our nature. A complete reversal. No longer to have our roots in inconscience, but to have our roots in light. That is why only very few are touched. Very few. You have to be ready for this. It takes a long, long time. It can happen after a long period of continuous evolution. This is what is called tapasya. Like, stage by stage, you prepare yourself for that.
Julie, this is such a wonderful state, and I would love to be in, I don't know, but here he says, a force came down into his mortal limbs, as if the force was not there, it has been given to him, that force, which was not available, it came to him as a gift. And then,
It was always there.
yes,
You realize things are always there. At a certain stage, you realize it is there.
and then a current
Came down.
from eternal seas of bliss,
Yes, Anand, this is Satchidananda,
he felt the invasion of the nameless joy.
of that current. Filled his whole being with the physical being becomes a medium experiencing the supreme consciousness, Satchidananda. It is passing through the body. It is not that you leave the body and enter into that world. It is down here it comes, in the physical. You cannot achieve it just going for a walk now and then.
I would like to experience this invasion of nameless joy, from a current of eternal sea of bliss. Wow.
Now and then.